All right. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. This is Comics News Today, and we're going to be having some fun with some very interesting news, as we always do. But we're also happy to have you guys here and interact with you and see what you guys have to say as well. Do keep in mind, we have all our links down below. We'd love to see you guys go check them out and get involved, particularly Fanspeak on Facebook. Also, of course, we do appreciate the subs. We're growing, and the like buttons, those are awesome. I guess they somehow matter to YouTube. But of course, we are live streamers, so hitting that share button is the thing that really helps us out the most, guys. And actually, I always want to come over and say hi to the panel, and I'm going to start with Pixel. But Pixel, can you tell me exactly what is the like button for? How does it help us at all?
It's fan engagement. So
Mhm.
being able, even the down or dislike button is supposed to be some type of measurement of fan engagement. But yeah, being able to click that, it shows that people aren't just pulling up your video and watching it or just playing it in the background. They're actually interacting with the video and they're engaging with the content. At least that's what it's supposed to measure.
I see.
Whether or not it actually does that, hard to say.
Okay, well, hit it anyway, I guess. And why
Yeah,
do you? Why does it look like you have a sales tag on your face?
I have a QR code on my face.
Is
Yeah,
that what
so
that's
anybody that
called?
comes into this, yep, it's a QR code, and so if anybody were to scan that right now, which they
Hmm.
definitely should,
Hmm.
uh, they can scan it and go. It'll take them directly to covercrashers.com.
Oh, sweet. You guys should try that. I think I have that on my Apple. Does my Apple have that? I'm sure it does.
Probably,
I have
yeah.
no clue where
Uh,
it is though.
Android
Kind
users
of
can
see
just
a
grab.
hidden picture. I see looks like a T right in the middle for Todd.
There is a T for Todd. There's a double T for Todd. Wow.
Oh,
There
I
you
might
go.
have to delete that.
Yeah. Actually, I wouldn't mind to read a little article on exactly how they put these images together. How this image is. I'm assuming it's just a mathematical passcode, right? It's just it's got a type of encryption in a way, just symbolic encryption.
Yeah, it's probably some kind of representation of binary or something that just
Hmm.
spits out letters based on the progression. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And what's really interesting is these things can, depending on how large they are,
Hmm.
they can have multiple sections of the thing point to the same location. So if part of the image is damaged or unreadable, it has built-in error correction, and it's it's a whole rabbit hole you can go into and for tech, but it's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool, actually, yeah. And it's interesting how we've moved from barcodes to these QR codes, and they seem better, so that's awesome. Let me see in here. Booster is being a disappointment as usual. What do you want, dude? That's pretty standard. Bullet says sailboat, dude. I love sailing. Do you like sailing as well? Anybody here sail?
He's not talking about boating though.
Damn it!
He's making a. Have you, have you
I
ever
I
seen?
sail I sail all the time.
Yeah, no, that
Have you ever
that's
seen
another dad
Mallrats?
joke. Go ahead, Pixel.
Have you ever seen the movie Mallrats?
Um. I think it
It's
was
a
on
Kevin
at a
Smith movie.
party I was at once. Yeah.
Okay, well, there's a scene. There's a specific character in the movie that's staring at one of those old stereogram type hidden picture things where you look at it,
Mhm.
and if you let your eyes cross a certain way or whatever, it'll
Oh,
show you a
yeah,
Yeah,
hidden
yeah,
those things
image.
are
remember
cool.
those?
Yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's making a reference to the sailboat. Yeah, because there's supposedly a sailboat inside the image that this guy can't see the entire movie.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, running
Well,
joke.
I thought it was just talking about sailboats. I like sailboats. I'm actually thinking about I was kind of thinking about building one of those cedar strip canoes, but I've kind of elevated myself to either building my own sailboat or just buying one, gutting it, an old one, gutting it and remodeling it, because I want to have myself a sailboat when I get up here a little bit closer to retirement. And I've been working on doing that quite a bit.
Very
Are
cool.
you gonna find a young student to sort of sand it for you and throw the Karate Kid stuff at him and
Oh,
get it all
absolutely.
done by him? Yeah, that's
Oh no, I'm
perfect.
gonna have the fun sailboat weekends, and I'm gonna bring all the students over and give them sandpaper and blocks and say, "Okay, go do it." I'm gonna do fun music, and I'll be energetic all day, and then in the end, I'll let them each ride on my sailboat.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. No,
perfect.
I know
So
how to play
fun.
that game, dude. No, all joking aside, when I run the Nightwave event, which is kind of a governmental thing, I run this event. They have like this Ocean Day here in Japan. And what I do is I'll set up the entire event. I'll let the mayor and all the politicians come in the morning, throw their mochi, and do the morning stuff. And then at night, I have a big old concert. So I kind of tie it in so I get government funding for it. And what I do with that, because it's a government project, instead of just going and hiring all the workers I need and paying them out of the door, what I do is I just get volunteers because it's government. You can get away with it. And usually I get about 120 high school students come in to help with those events. It's hilarious. Don't judge me. Anyway,
We're all
EVO.
Child
judging you
labor.
at every level.
It's fun. Well, they have a good time too, right? They get to feel important because they're doing something, and it's a a town event. So, but anyway, but nice to have you here, Pixel, of course. And what was this thing, EVO? Well, that's like some kind of video game contest or championship or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a video game championship. So part of Insider, we cover a lot of different stuff, and it includes gaming. And so we have a dedicated writer that covers a lot of Mortal Kombat news, EVO, various different elements of video gaming. So like there's just an article about EA and Apex Legends.
Oh yeah, well
So we
that
did that
thing has gone straight to hell, right? Goodness gracious,
pretty
dude.
quickly.
Yeah,
And
very
then
quickly.
I just did an article. Actually, I have to give most of the credit to Kyung Lee because he provided all the work for it. But we just did an insider look at his studio. So we've got photos of his workspace, how he has everything kind of organized, um, various photos of his workspace, so you can see all that kind of stuff. And it's been fun. So we're
Wow.
actually doing a
That's
lot
cool.
more of this kind of dive into people's creativity and what inspires them. Like this is really really cool.
Well, I'm
Um,
actually was surprised because I would have expected to see a lot more big-titted hentai women, but there wasn't.
Well, yeah,
There's some.
not too much, but there is some stuff. But we'll get there in a second. This right here is what really got me when I was looking at it. And what he said was this particular area. He has his drawing board. He's like, there's a lot of distraction in life when you're doing all kinds of different stuff and you're trying to get your book done. So what he
Oh,
did is he put up all of the pages, kind of immersed himself in his stories, so that he could look at it and say, "Hey, I I want to be able to make sure I keep my mind on the right spot, right?"
hmm.
So he looks at this stuff around him and said, "Okay, yeah, I need to finish that page. I need to do this. I've got X number of pages I need to get done." It just inspires him to stay engaged with his own book. And he's now at this point, the books are on their way to him. They should be here any day now, and he'll be shipping them out very soon. But it's really cool to see the workspace and see how things are coming together. Actually, let me see. This is like some of his stuff, but he does. Whoops, he does have like a little, like they're not hentai, but you got a big old boobied power girl there, and then
Nothing
there's
wrong with
also a
that.
big boobied Scarlet there, and he does have his ladies on his drawing board as well, and
Sure, sure. That
he's got
Japanese
Supergirl right on his desk.
actress. I'm doing air quotes. But yeah, no,
Saya,
I
yeah.
like Young Lee. He's a nice guy, and I'm just joking about it. Although I do think he draws his women too fat. I mean, in my opinion. But workstation is really cool looking though.
Yeah, I really like the way that's set up. He and I had talked about it, and he's like, originally I was going to clean up my office, and he's like, I decided not to do that because I wanted to give people more of a feeling of what it looks like on a day to day basis. So this is pretty much what his office looks like every single day. Just
Yeah.
a lot of stuff in a really small area, but it's really cool to see how everything kind of flows together. But he talks about it and like what he does with his downtime, and then down towards the bottom, we've got a couple links out to. I linked out to his Saya book for Amazon. So if anybody wants to get the big titty girl that sits on his his drawing board, they can. But I'm gonna grab a few more things as far as tools and stuff like brushes and markers and some other things that he uses on a regular basis, and link those out as well, so we can start giving people kits to follow along with their favorite artists.
That's a good
Things like
idea,
that.
dude. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's cool what you guys are doing with Insider. A lot of people are giving things in. It's fun. I think it's nice that we have a magazine that's for us talking about our stuff instead of some stupid politic. Because I still
Yeah.
don't understand how you're talking about video games or sports or what have you, but yet it's all about politics. It's like, well, if you want to do politics, go do a political magazine or something, right? This is about comic books. What are you doing, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it's a nice thing. Inciter. Although the name is interesting. Why did you guys really intuit? Because it's a controversial name, right? I mean,
Yeah. Well, it's not that controversial, is it?
well, I mean, you
Not
guys are
really,
making
no.
a point that you don't want there to be any politics. You want to be just about the love of the hobby and nerddom and stuff like that, which I 100% approve of. But yet you call yourself Inciter, as in to
Right.
incite something. Now, I saw Dr. Wright's twist on it. I get it. But,
Yeah.
some people are going to take the different angle on it, right?
Right. Sure. Like inside a riot or something. I mean, there's
That's
a
right.
lot of different uses for it, but it's kind of a play on words too. The original name of the magazine was going to be Insider, like inside information.
Yeah, which you can't do. That's
The
already taken,
the
right?
Right. And so we played around with a couple different versions of it, and we're finally like, what we're really trying to do is push people to be creative, to look at other genres and other ways in the community that a lot of people engage that they may not normally do, like collectibles or tech or something. There's a lot of overlap, but being able to present those different things to people in one location and kind of just spark some inspiration for them, incite that creativity is what we're
So
going for.
why didn't you call it Inspirer?
Because that sounds dumb.
It does. You're right.
Yeah.
It most
Yeah.
certainly does.
Well,
Yeah.
then there's the stick of dynamite, which just reminds me of the Weather Underground. But then
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
I'm a little off.
No, that's a good point, dude. And of course, once again, it promulgates the twist that your enemies are going to put on it, dude. Inciter and this dynamite, they're just trying to be troublemakers, right? I'm just playing
Yeah,
devil's
they can be
advocate.
troublemakers. No, that's cool. One thing that we've tried to do though is stay away from negative stuff for the most
Sure.
part. We do comment on current events and certain aspects of pop culture and whatnot that have had negative situations in them. But anytime that we do any type of dissection of something like that, we look at ways to improve it. We try to put a commentary on it that's not negative, I guess is the way to put it. So either stay neutral or try to show how to improve something is kind of our motto on it. We don't want to tear people down. We don't want to be negative all the time. But if we're going to make a commentary or we're going to show something in a negative light, we're going to show how we feel it could be improved and help the community overall.
No, I think it's very, very cool. And Bullet says, "Sexing is to the left of me and sexing is to the right. It's all about the pimp sandwich tonight." Did I do okay, Bullet? Was that all right? Well, it was close, right? It was close. But yeah, but that's really cool, dude. I'm glad to see that it's coming along. You get a lot of people getting involved in it too, which is awesome. And yeah, Apex Legend, man, I cannot believe the absolute debacle. I mean, talk about literally shooting yourself in the face. I mean,
Yeah.
these people, dude. I'm going to tell the world about the evil, evil white people. How dare they? And you're shocked by people aren't playing your game, but whatever.
Yep.
I got a bunch of other people in here, so let me go and say hi. Todd, tell us about what's going on in Anycom TV, dude.
Oh, well, we're just getting some new people on board. So we want to get more content onto the channel itself. That's the obvious thing. We won't grow without more content. And we are now sort of pushing the people that are part of it to, you know, it's time to do it. It's time. It's been a couple weeks.
Hmm.
So we just had one video from Indie Dave, who's the writer of Oddity, drop a video today. We got to get Mr. DeWolf going here a little bit, and a couple other people. So that's the thing, it's because you've built this channel based on consistency, right?
Mm,
And it's worked. A lot of people give you the kudos for what you bring to them every day, and it's the fact that you do it every day. So that's what we need over there. We need some more people dropping every day. We have great talent. I mean, obviously Preston is killing it with his reviews. He does a really good
yeah.
job. He hasn't he hasn't come across. I mean, obviously his conservatism leaks through a little bit.
He's not
But
conservative. He's
I
a
really
liberal.
like.
What are you talking about?
But obviously he, he's a little bit quirky, and that endears him to his audience, and I think that's something to be said about that.
Oh yeah, I like Preston, and I do apologize to the IndyCon TV people because it's not Todd's fault; it's my fault. I screwed up my scheduling. It wasn't a neglect or anything like that. It was just I'm dealing with a 16-hour time difference or an 11-hour time difference, depending which way you go. It's my fault. And next week things will be back on track. I've got it written on the damn calendar. It will not screw up again because I basically was supposed to be there in the Sunday late evening my time, and I thought it was Monday late evening. But it's my fault. It's not their fault at all. But I will not let that happen again. So we'll definitely come back next week for Coffee Akihabara, where we'll have our Sunday morning show talking to great guests and just kind of enjoying nerddom in general. Yep. All right. Well, no excuses, Chad. No excuses given, dude. It's my fault, 100%. George. Hi, George. George. George.
Hi, greetings, everybody. This useless talk of all things awesome that's going on. It made me hungry. I am currently ordering Mr. Greek, but but I got something awesome I would like to share with the panel.
Okay.
Okay, I am going to screen share for not screen share. I'm going to actually activate my what do you call this? The contraption in front of me. The
Wonder George
Computer.
Powers activate.
that's it. That's it. Okay, I am going to do that right now.
All
I
right.
got something in the mail from Frank Cho,
Frank Joe.
Frank
the
Cho.
Cho master. All right, this came in the mail. This is an X-Acto knife. Don't do this at home.
Okay, guys, don't do this at home. Don't
Ah!
open your packages.
Oh, I actually cut myself.
On
Wow,
screen. Yeah.
on screen too. Oh. Okay, opening it. Blood not included.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
It's an unboxing video.
That do you see that? Right
We
there,
can kind of see it.
right there.
Beauties by Frank Cho. Ballpoint Beauties, Frank Cho. Oh, that's cool, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, this just came in the mail. I'm about to open it. It looks a little more elaborate, so it's going to take a little while. So at the end of the show, I will do another cam to show you the book.
Okay, cool, but just don't get blood on it, George. I mean,
Yeah. Right now, I'm going to go bandage myself up.
All right, you go do that. But he's getting food from Mr. Greek, everybody, whatever that
Mr.
is.
Greek.
I do like me some Greek food, though. I haven't had it in decades, but I do like it. And but anyway, thank you. And of course, we have DeWolf with us here today. I have to say thank you yesterday, dude. We had a great conversation about the Templars. That was a lot of fun, dude.
Oh yeah, it most certainly was. And I've got all this information shoved up in my head. It's nice to occasionally share it out with some folks, and
Sure.
it's fun. Just fun to do.
It is fun.
I want to do one quick thing here in the chat because of the fact that you the Coffee Akihabara, So I know we're gonna have this guest on again. I want to go ahead and preface this and say, boom, there's his link for the Indiegogo for City of Venus, City of Dead. He's the same creator that did the Through the Woods comic, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, both
That was
the
a
art and the
beautiful.
writing. I'll be doing a review on it as I go through my series. My series, of course, is going to be the books that I have backed
Good
and
idea.
read and enjoyed over through this entire year. And that's going to be over on Indicom TV. I started to post at some point, had some audio issues. Videos are coming very soon.
Awesome, dude. And the I have to. We did talk about that Through the Woods, man. That is a stunningly gorgeous book, man. So that'd be really
Yes.
cool. And actually, I just got I got a DM yesterday, the day before, from the guys making Magic Cop. and they want to come over and show off their book here on Fanspeak, which of course we'll schedule them and get them in here. But has any of you guys heard about or saw the Magic Cop thing yet?
I have not.
Pixel?
Oh yeah, it's funny. Oh yeah, yeah. I talk to those guys on a regular basis. They've got some funny stuff happening. It's like a Miami Vice spin on kind of a Dungeons and Dragons type world.
Yeah, right.
If you can think about it.
Well, it's
There's
Urban
magic and stuff
Arcana,
all
right?
over the earth. Yeah, it's totally funny. Man, they have some really interesting stuff happening there, and I don't want to share a lot of it because it's better to experience for yourself. But I've read through some of it, and oh my god, there's just so many little things packed into some of these pages where the jokes are pretty cool. Yeah.
No. Like I said, I'm in the process of scheduling them right now, and I'm sure we'll have them on either sometime this week or next. So we'll be talking to those guys. But this Through the Woods guy, DeWolf, we got to have him on the show here and do him on Fanspeak.
Oh, yeah, we'll give him a contact. See,
was-
but he was supposed to be on Coffee Akihabara on Sunday.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
he'll
was.
be back.
He'll be back. Okay, so I'm doing it on that show. Yeah, that's once again, I do apologize. But yeah, because I do love that art. That's really killer.
Yeah,
All right,
thanks, good
well,
guy.
awesome. Well, and of course, last but certainly not least, guys, did I talk to Todd? I did talk to Todd. Dinale, hi.
Hi, hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I was just thinking of the trailer line for Fanspeak. These fraternities of brothers join together to talk comics. I don't know.
Oh, I mean Doug
But,
TeNapel? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That was kind of
So
cool. There was some kind words from Doug, I think. Yeah. Yeah, we're just doing what we do, man. The problem is we're just a bunch of fans. Is really the problem, you know. That's where I think we don't have as much reach, but it doesn't matter. We're having fun doing what we're doing. Little by little, it's growing. We're doing all kind of things. We're very active. I get a lot of we see a lot of people, no matter what side they're on, they talk a lot, but they don't put up. You know, it's kind of like put up or shut up, right? And
right,
we're definitely putting up. So
absolutely. I
yeah,
have my Mortal Mass project that's going on nicely.
yeah.
I got the email dinalescomic@gmail.com on the description to join my newsletter. So, I'm rewriting the script, 132 pages, cut it down from 140 pages. And right now I'm just streamlining the dialogue and everything. So it's pretty awesome.
It is awesome. And yeah, go ahead, Todd.
That link, I tried that link and it wasn't working.
The one from DeWolf.
No, the one from Denali to get to his
Ooh,
newsletter.
you should
know,
check that
China's
out, dude.
mailing list. Yeah.
Should
Okay.
check that out. All right, so let's go ahead and move over the news. I would say that one thing I noticed on the news that we don't have up here today, I just kind of want to mention it offhand, is the fact that the peoples over there in the Hong Kong, which we did talk about a little bit yesterday, which I got yelled at as usual. Um, but They are, of course, struggling. But one of the things we talked a little bit about the fact that they're waving American flags and Union Jacks and stuff like that, kind of wanting support from the world. But one of the other things that's picked up over there I thought was fascinating is the fact that Pepe, our good old Kekistani Pepe, has been they're using it as a like a mascot. I'm shocked. But Pepe has risen again. Well, you know the thing. Every time that Marxism and this kind of crap stands up, you see Pepe because he's a symbol of resistance against this kind of thing. And It's fascinating though that because a girl lost her eye basically because cops were shooting into the crowd and it kind of kicked off this Pepe thing. But oh well, it is what it is.
I guess that's the power of art, right?
Yeah, true. Right. And the interesting thing, Kekistan and the Kekistani flag and all that stuff, which my wife loves Pepe. She thinks it's hilarious. But That whole thing, I don't know if people know this. Sargon of Akkad is really the one who made that happen. I don't know if you guys watch Sargon. He's a pretty interesting character. He's another one of these people, like Tim Pool, I think is another good example, like Preston as well. They're all actual liberals. but they're sick and tired of these crazy leftists, and they're standing up against it. And it's really interesting, because those people are not conservatives. They are actual classical liberals. And but anyway, I don't want to get into that, but I just thought it was really interesting that Pepe is showing up again, but it's in Hong Kong now. It's
Yeah.
how
the origin of Kek?
yeah, go ahead.
Kek in World of Warcraft, when you had your opponents face off against each other, the two races couldn't communicate with each other, like Horde versus Alliance.
Right.
And so when you'd laugh at somebody, LOL, it would show up as Kek on the other side.
Oh, really? That's interesting. I didn't know that. I played World of Warcraft, but
Yeah.
I guess I didn't do a lot of raiding. There you go. Awesome.
Silliness.
It is silly, but it's fun too.
Silliness.
And it's hilarious how a frog can become such a Nazi symbol for these crazy people. But then again, OK, which has been used, I don't know how long. I mean, really? How long have people been using OK, the hand symbol? Now,
Right.
when you have your three fingers up, that stands for a W, and the O you make with your fingers going down to your wrist stands for a P, which means white power. Did you know that? Did you know
Yes,
that?
I did not know
Did you know that? Yeah.
I did not
Yeah.
know
It's
that.
so stupid, right?
That's
Everybody's been
interesting.
doing that.
Well,
And actually, it's fun over here in Japan. One of the things the kids, everybody does it here, especially the girls, but they'll hold up and they'll do the peace symbol, right? They just do it all the time. It's like such a cultural thing. But occasionally they
Oh,
get
yeah.
it backwards, and they'll put their the fronts of their fingers forward, and it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. You don't want to do that. That's actually has a very harsh meaning if you're British. But it is interesting how people love to copy these little things, and then all of a sudden you can't do it because it's been declared evil, wrong, Nazi by some little teeny group of people that no one cares about. Oh, whatever. I'm going to keep doing the
Well,
OK.
time to
Well,
be yelled at. But what I was going to say, Chester, is that remember that a small percentage can stop a city.
Oh yeah.
And you were talking about Tim Pool, which he did earlier today, a segment about that, which is even though the majority of us are normal and don't care about this crazy thing, the fact that there's a small minority who are hell bent and forcing their views upon others means that they're more likely to sway the culture because they're the people actually actively doing something
Oh sure.
about it.
It happens all the
Yeah.
time. It happens all the
And
time.
and it happens on both sides, not just one side of the spectrum.
It is. That is true. But I
The
think
unfortunate,
what you're seeing here is a little different because what they're asking us to
Mhm.
swallow is too much. I think that's the problem. And these people, I really think the main issue with them is they really don't understand the difference between the word tolerance and acceptance. See, there's a lot of things I can
Yeah.
tolerate, and most humans, we should tolerate as much as we possibly can. It just to get along. It's just kind of one of the rules of civilization. But I don't have to accept shit. You know.
Whoa.
Well, it is
Well,
what it is.
wow. Yes, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead, Dinale.
All right. So for our first news from Deadline, ex Disney accountant files SEC claims alleging books were cooked. Basically, a former accountant from Disney, who Disney has reported in the articles that they were laid off or fired for cause, said that this is just a allegation to smear, to address grievances, and that the SEC won't do an open investigation because they received numerous of things. But this account is reporting that Disney is claiming over $6 billion in profits and revenues that they filed with the SEC in 2013 and from now to make them look good for shareholders. And reason why this could be plausible is because of that financial meltdown that happened just as Obama was taking office, where we found out banks were throwing off bad loans to each other to look good, and this could be a similar practice.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean these these big super companies, I mean, they hire accountants for a reason, right? So it's not shocking to me at all that Disney's books are kind of tainted. I would say you'd be hard pressed to go into any major company and not find this kind of thing going on, right? But the
Yeah.
question really is: it illegal or is it just questionably morally questionable? Is really the question, you know.
It is illegal because if they're false reporting what the profits is for shareholders, which is one of the rules to be publicly traded, they have to tell their investors and those people shareholding that enough the information that they're given that yes, we're making profits, your investment is good, you're not losing your money. Those are one of the safeguards that the SEC does for those type of things.
Well,
So
there you
you
go.
kind of so that's a major news right there. Whether the SEC will look into that or not, that's another matter. Different. Yeah.
Well, I do apologize, Nick. I'm sorry. I will watch my language. Just blame Booster. It's always his fault. He's corrupted me. It's his. He's a bad boy. But anybody here have an opinion on the crooked nature of Disney? Oh,
No, not at all.
I mean,
No, not Disney, please. Oh, come
no.
on.
Say it isn't so. Goodness gracious.
God.
And it's Disney the company, not the person.
Of course not. And we made that division of understanding quite clear in our show TFT, the conspiracies around Walt Disney. If you haven't seen it, go check it out because that was awesome. It was great having Mark and Tim on that show. Actually, very knowledgeable they were. But anybody else have anything to say on this? I mean, it's kind of like mochiron news, or sorry, obvious news, right? Nope. All right.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Next.
With everything going on with everything going on in Disney and what money means
Mhm.
and all of that, it's no doubt that they're trying to shuffle things around because of the state of what's been happening there within the recent years.
Well, and it also
Yeah.
kind of bring. I'll go back over here a real quick second because I'm surprised George didn't say something because, also brings into question the once again the Captain Marvel thing because there was a lot of accusations about some real shenanigans going on with the box office numbers, ticket sales, et cetera, with that, right?
Well,
And
yeah. Let's point out how Marvel, DC, they do the comic book sales, right? Yeah, we sent out all these comic books to the comic book stores,
mhm,
and that kind of shenanigans. That's also going on in our dearly beloved comic book industry, right? So it's
yeah,
everything is about how well we're doing, even though they're not, and we know why they're not is because, like you said, these so-called shenanigans, as you call them, where they're
yeah.
trying to force agendas out there and get audiences interested in something that they just don't care about, and it's showing. And this is just another one of those telltale signs that there's a problem within the industries as a whole.
Telltale. Do you know what a telltale is? You know where it comes from?
Edgar Allan Poe,
No,
The Beating Heart.
not at all.
Yeah.
Etymology with Chester. Telltales are the little things on the sail that you can look up to see which way the wind is blowing.
Uh-huh.
Telltale. Yeah. So someone mentioned sailing earlier. It was in my head, so it comes back around. Everything comes back around. But that's what a telltale is. It's those little teeny pieces of cloth that are sitting on the up on the sail, so you can look up and see where the wind is leaning, so that you can get your sail in the most perfect position. That's a telltale.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's the only.
Isn't the wind saying that we should continue on with the news?
It is, George. Thank you. Going from one corruption to another corruption, Denali.
Right. So from Bounty into Comics, Marvel comics writer Donny Cates accused of ripping off a student's script for absolute carnage.
Oh,
Basically, William Velez shows the first 3 pages of his script, which kind of matches the first 3 pages of Absolute Carnage. I think the picture's down if you scroll
I
there
will. I will.
below.
Plagiarism. All right, let's check
Well,
it
if the
out.
artists aren't tracing, then the writers are just plagiarizing.
So this.
So that's
Ooh. Hmm. I don't know. There is similarity, but it's not exact though.
man falls down, man dealing with two people, gets in on train, finds out the train is the monster.
Yeah, well, I
Mm,
gotta give it to him. I mean, at 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 any rate, you have to make drastic changes if you are going to hint, if you are going to take an idea from someplace, and it's happened many times before.
sure.
You have to make some drastic changes. You have to go that extra mile so that it doesn't look or seem like you did that.
Yeah.
And if you did, then they're just idiots, and they'll if they have to suffer for it, then that's all for the best.
Yeah. No, it's a tough one. What do you think, George or Todd? You guys are the artist here,
Um,
and Pixel too.
okay, first of all, you can't copyright an idea. Okay, that's one thing.
Hmm.
Secondly, the two concepts that I see here are there's enough difference there for the thing to have no merit. Now, so here's where it becomes interesting. If the artist actually wrote down his concept instead of drew his concept, and he registered it with the Writers Guild, East or West, and then he may have some merit.
I see.
But what this is it can be argued in court, and it has been argued successfully, actually, by Disney, by Pixar, for of all things, Finding Nemo, because
Yeah.
there is a French writer out there who actually has an original story that is exactly like Finding Nemo, and he did it long before Disney Pixar
Oh.
actually did the work.
Well, a lot of
And
lawsuits
the
come
court,
and go, right?
and the,
It's quite common.
here's the kicker. And the court reviewed all the content, and their assessment is that the idea coming out of Disney was created in a vacuum, and there was no way that they actually saw the works of the French artist.
Yeah, that's
So
probably
there
true
was
anyway, right?
so
I
there
don't
was
know about
no
that.
copyrights, and there was no infringement at all.
Mhm.
Now, given that this artist has a relationship with the guy who apparently stole his idea, it's not enough. You can't copyright an idea. You can't trademark an idea.
Okay.
So that
Well,
just
go
so
ahead,
that
Pixel.
just proves that if you get 100 monkeys in a room pounding away on keyboards, you get Finding Nemo.
Exactly. That's what happens. But Todd, I was asking more along the lines from an artistic point of view. Do you see similarity between the amateur and the pro?
Not enough.
No, not me either. Yeah, I didn't
No,
see enough.
but
Yeah.
in the case where they sided with Disney saying that it was created in a vacuum, that is a bunch of horse crap, though.
Of course it is, but they were able to they were able to prove actual progression of work, and that's the key. If you as a creator can prove your progression of work from the initial concept to the final execution, you have more merit and more legal standing than your accuser.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me come over here and cut the chat because chat definitely wants to get in on this conversation. So, all right. Let's see. Where do we leave off last? Chester language. Once again, I apologize. Pixel, instead of saying it, says, hi, yeah. Oh, he's saying, oh, I see. So he's doing. Nick W says, one step closer to Marvel Publishing's end. Yeah, well. Bob is in here. Comic Book Bob is in here. Hello. And everyone's saying hi. Bullet is doing more music, which he does. Joshua says, thanks for the unwanted information, Chester. What, you don't enjoy etymology with Chester? I can make a show all about etymology. Would you guys like that? I could tell you the meaning of all kind of words and where they come from. You'd be shocked.
I don't need to know about more bugs. Come on.
Fine. Uh, they're talking to each other. Bob says, "I've got to be free to face the life that's ahead of me." Well, you guys really like music. Aggressively relaxing. Ooh, I like that name. To be fair, they both have panels. They do. Jalapeno Milk is in here again. Donnie Cates said it was a deliberate homage to the 1986 issue of Spider-Man where Venom pushed Peter onto the train tracks. Okay, all right. I don't I see some similarity, but for me it's not that clear. But anyway, yeah, Web of Spider-Man number 18. Excellent. You very knowledgeable comic book people here. Awesome. Is what we like to see. What about Zoidberg? No clue what that is, dude. I think I've heard of Zoidberg, but I don't know what you
Oh.
mean.
From
Anybody?
Futurama. That's from Futurama.
But he's making a reference to the plagiarism here.
Yeah, basically he's talking about there was a accusation that the design of Zoidberg was stolen from another project
Oh, I see.
for that. But I can't remember the full details, but
Well, these copyright claims come all the time, guys. Bands and movies, it's constantly going on. It's almost like a price of doing business, it seems. But anyway, look at the symbiote. Okay, I'm looking.
Mhm.
Okay.
I think you can skip back down to Jalapeno Milk's chat at the bottom there.
I'm going to get to it, and
Hold on.
just hold your horses. Bullet says Kimba the White Lion, the Lion King. Yeah, I know. I rest my case. Nick Gibbs says, ask Jim Starlin about Marvel. Willie Reed, hey, what's up there, Willie Mammoth? What was it a student of his? It's a good question. Chester Busby, Chester, did you do a swear? I did. I do apologize. We got a swear jar though, so I'll be punished. Chester blamed the booster. I did. Oh god, that's funny. Jalapeno Milk says Kate said he set up the homage purposefully to set the tone that Peter could face normal dangers outside of super threats. In AC's case, that Eddie's world has completely changed in addition to Carnage. Okay, I don't get it. All right.
Well, here's the thing: it's a bad homage, and the word "scunch" in no way helps to add to this particular piece of artwork. It's not a good. It's a too small of a word for something
Yeah.
like that. It's terrible, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, scunch. I mean,
I
why is
thought you were gonna say Skunk Girl.
no? I mean, why not shriek or
What I
crash or
can?
Kya or something like that? It would have been better. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thundero just dropped in to give us a like, and he's saying good evening. Well, good evening, dude. Thank you for coming in and giving us your like. I appreciate it. But wow, yeah, plagiarism is a long conversation. We could make a long list, and even though it's not a TFT conspiracy thing, you could have a very long conversation about all the things that have happened. I mean, just look at the Led Zeppelin. I mean, Led Zeppelin, my goodness, they got torn to pieces, dude. And it's weird because they caught so much flack, but yet Elvis Presley didn't. It's weird, right? Anyway.
Yeah. How powerful is Venom? I mean, I know he's strong, but in this particular case, he's stopping a speeding subway car, like a train. An entire train is stopping, like when it hits him. Well, at least derails it. It just seems like it's a little over his power level. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I guess maybe he built a ramp out of his body or something to manage to handle it. It just seems a little out of character for Venom.
Well, we know Spidey can slow one down, and Venom is stronger than him. But yeah, a train it might be a bit much. I didn't even notice that.
Is Pixel all of a sudden concerned that Marvel may be drawing or representing a character that is outside of their normal character or bounds?
No.
No, I would never. Well, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Really.
Jalapeno Milk continues. It says, for example, Carnage is not only a threat, but Eddie's entire life changed in addition to Carnage showing up. I think the first issue was really boring, however. All right. Well, there you go. That's kind of the problem, right? It's either nonsense, bad art, boring, or what have you. Marvel is just shooting duds like crazy, dude. I mean, it
I
is what
think
it
we need
is.
to get jalapeno milk in here to actually discuss some more of this because
Sure.
there's a lot of information
Everyone's
available
welcome.
out of this.
All you guys got to
Yeah.
do is go down there and hit up my Twitter or my Facebook, although Twitter's a lot easier. Just hit that Twitter and say, Chester, put me on the show, and I will do so. I mean, honestly, yeah, Boost. We don't need Booster anyway, so there's always a seat available there. And he didn't bother to show up today anyway, did he? Ha!
That's not nice.
That's not nice.
Well, I'm
All
not
right, so what else
always
we got?
nice, Todd. Anyway, moving on. Damn it, this stupid CBS webpage. Go ahead.
Right. So for the CW Crisis on Infinite Earth crossover, they have confirmed that Kevin Conroy will play old Bruce Wayne for that crossover event. And Kevin is trying to get Mark Hamill to be playing the on-screen persona of the Joker as well.
Well, what do you guys think of Mark Hamill playing the Joker? Now he did Madcap, I believe it was, a long, long time ago, and of course he's the Joker in voice anyway, just
He's the
amazingly so.
Joker.
I think I might like it. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, he has played the Trickster,
I
so
thought it
it's
was.
not
I
that
thought he
much.
played Madcap in that live in that TV show. I thought he was Madcap, not Trickster.
No, the
Yeah,
Trickster. It was
the
the
arrow,
Trickster. It
Was
was
it?
the Trickster.
the trickster.
Yeah.
All right.
Have you
But
seen him do it live? Have you seen him do the voice of the Joker,
oh, dude, it's
live on stage when people
freaking
ask him to do it and such, right?
It's phenomenal. Yeah.
It not only is it phenomenal, it sounds phenomenal, but it's the look in his eyes.
Mm.
He takes on that maniacal visage. And I think, yeah, go ahead, give it to him. I mean, there's so many of us out here. We enjoy what he does with the voice work.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's see it. I think it'd be fun.
I think it'd be great. I do apologize to Wolf. It's Visage.
And it may not be exactly right what you see in the comics, but I think that representation of him.
It could be fun.
Is he going to be an older Joker? Is he kind of a little overweight or past his prime Joker? I don't know, but I think it would be fun to see at least.
All right, there you go. Jalapeno Milk says, "Ooh, I have to take you guys up on that. I can draw better stick figures than Booster." Well, you know what, dude? Everyone's welcome to be on the show, man. This is Fanspeak. I mean, that's the whole point. So yeah, just hit up my Twitter and we'll get you on the show, dude. Combo Bob says, "Chester, make me a star." I would be happy to, sir. Make sure you get my good side. Okay. Willie Mammoth says, everyone's welcome on Fanspeak. That's right. Jalapeno continues by saying, I'm just glad Donny Cates didn't give in to the SJWs who wanted a homoerotic relationship between Eddie and the same. What? These
Yeah, it
people,
was a thing. It was a thing.
man, why are they
Yeah.
so twisted in their head, man? What is up with
No.
the level of perversion?
I keep hearing this about Peter Parker too, about bisexuality and this and that. It's absolutely driving me crazy.
It's basically all these people from who wrote the fan fiction back in the 90s, who a lot of their stories, if you ever read those fan fiction stories, were homoerotic. Actually, talking about that, I was reading The Wire magazine, and it was talking about the culture where all these diverse author about these uncomfortable feelings and all came from fanfiction.net and similar sites like that and Tumblr and all those, and they're the new generation to spearhead the new progressive ideas.
Do you think it's
So
do you guys think it might be the proliferation of pornography that's been coming on for decades here?
I'll go along with that.
yeah, it kind of reminds me of Mark Millar with Wanted, which was one of the opening scenes, which was the main character's father who was videotaping two guys, and he says, "After I've been with so much women's, going the other side, it's just to curiosity." Paraphrasing it. So go ahead, Todd.
A lot of people go their whole life without any curiosity at all. Go ahead, Todd.
Yeah.
You know,
No, I just wanted you to. Oh, okay. No, you're talking to that Todd. Sorry.
I
Go
think
ahead.
that there's also is a lot of self projection, it's not just projecting via fan fiction on it. They push so hard that they have to make it that reality, right?
Mhm.
And it's leave it, yeah, leave characters the way they are, but they just can't. So
Yeah, no, I don't even mind that. I mean, changing characters, making them interesting, yeah, that could be good or it could be bad. I mean, case by case. But I'm just talking about overall perversion. I'm not even talking specifically about whatever specific sexuality you choose to pursue, whether homosexuality or not. That's not even the point. I've known many homosexuals in my life, and they weren't perverts at all. They're just normal people, right? They just happen to be gay. I'm talking about perversion, right? And
well, the term that's often used is slippery slope, and back in the 90s 2000s area when that term was being thrown out there quite a lot, it was often said, no, no, this is not what, just preposterous, this isn't like. But of course what we've seen is across the board on many issues, the slippery slope is constantly happening, one thing's leading to another, leading to another.
yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. Yeah, oh well, it is what it is. I just it's not for me, I guess. But then again, I'm the type of person I don't like being teased. I've never cared for pornography and all that kind of stuff because if I want a woman, I want her in my hand. I want her right there in front of me. I don't want some tease from some book or something. It's I never got that. I don't really hold it against people, and if that's your thing, that's cool. I'm not being judgmental or puritanical. I
It's
just don't.
also really deep material that goes away from the comic books and the comic book news that we normally like to talk about.
Well, but I think we're seeing it's becoming more and more prevalent, dude. We're talking about Marvel comic books, right? We're not talking about some kind of comic book company that puts out racy stuff normally, that which is fine. That's their market. We're talking about Marvel and how long did Stan Lee do go trying to protect Marvel from getting too deep? Even if you go look at Max, Max is barely R-rated. And Stan really tried to keep that aside. He wanted it to be an all ages company. And this pushing of things and going on to this agendas, it's not all ages, dude. It's definitely becoming more and more adult. Even the conversation of whether the art is good or whether the writing is good is a whole nother topic. But just it's really getting away from what Stan Lee intended. You know what I mean? Is that okay? I guess is the question. Is it okay that the company that he created or co-created is becoming something almost the opposite of what he wanted and intended? Is that
Oh,
okay? I
right,
guess.
right, right, right.
You
That's
know what I mean?
true because it is nice to have the characters where I being, say, that 13, 14, 15 year old could buy Spider-Man. He's there with Mary Jane. They're alluded to something that may happen off panel, and then we move on, right? As opposed to, and then of course there was some comics on the top shelf with black covers. But nowadays, you're right. The issues of these types of things are constantly going into the mainstream, and we're seeing, of course, they're trying more shock value just to get sales, and that's not what you should do.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. Combo Bob says, I'm kind of interested in this crossover for no other reason than to see all the old actors in their roles again. It could be cool, and I think Mark Hamill would absolutely kill it. He wouldn't look like the Joker; it would be odd, but we'd get used to it so quickly because he embodies it. It would just blow your freaking mind, is what it would do. Milk says, "I'm also the guy behind Mayor McCheese torturing Gary." Sweet dude. Comic Book Bob says, "It's just freaks wanting to be allowed to stick their junk into anything they want, which no one's stopping them." To be fair, the Willie Mammoth says, now I'm not into homoerotics, but if you think something like sexual preference is going to stop me from having a good time, then I am sorry, sir. You were wrong. Good day to you. All right, thank you. Everybody's laughing at that. Combo Bob says, hey, you do you, bro. Just leave kids, animals, and the furniture alone. I do agree. Furniture can't speak up for itself at all. But Yeah, no, I think as far as the topic of the article, which we got way off topic, is awesome, freaking awesome, dude. Mark
Yeah,
Hamill is
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, so
So,
cool. Everyone
so that's
agrees. Moving on,
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
but I actually prefer Mark Hamill's Joker stuff than I do his Luke anyway. I love his Joker, dude. Have you, and that there is one. He does many actually. He does it all the time. It's a crowd favorite.
Chester.
But there is one in particular where he gets up and he does the one where they think Batman is dead, and he gets up on stage and he reads. It just reads out of the script, and it's like, oh my god, dude, it blows your mind. Mark Hamill is the man. He is the man. Now we're going to someone who's not a man at all, Kevin Smith.
But have you seen? Well, this ties in perfectly because of Kevin Smith. Have you seen Mark Hamill play the cock knocker?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
He played the cock knocker.
What is a
And,
cock
played a
knocker?
character-
I don't understand.
Oh my
Focus
God.
on my icon real quick here.
Sure, let me jump back over the other side.
So cock knocker was a character from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and it's Mark
Uh-huh.
Hamill playing a supervillain with a large hand that likes to punch people in the junk.
All right.
I just want to go to Tashi Station and buy some power converters.
Right.
right in the nuts.
Right in the nuts.
Oh wow.
Friggin' Mark. He
Don't
is
mess
a
with
great
the
voice
Jedi
actor.
Master, kid.
Mhm. And were you disagreeing with my opinion that I prefer Mark Hamill's Joker over Luke Skywalker? You disagree with that?
No, I wouldn't disagree at all. I'm just saying that I think it would be perfect for him to play the Joker. I mean, obviously
so.
he's talented here. I mean, look at this.
Yeah, he is
is
talented,
cool.
but I
This
was
is
talking
great.
to DeWolf though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can believe what you want. Just go on to the next article.
All right, go ahead, dude. Kevin Smith is got to be crying and gnashing of teeth involved. I'm sure. Denali.
Right. So from Variety and other news outlet, Kevin Smith announces that he's show running the upcoming Netflix series He-Man
Ooh.
and the Master of the Universe, going directly from the original He-Man of the 1980 version, and they'll be following Tila as she unlocks the powers of Grayskulls and all the secrets
He-Man.
of
Tila.
Tila.
Not He-Man. Tila.
He-Man.
Tila.
Now
No. I read this article, and he's gonna really start off where it ended off. He's gonna finish up some storylines that
and
that
Do
never.
what?
Got
who's this Mexican girl I'm looking at here? What does she have to do with it?
Nothing. Come on.
Well, she got her
Chester.
buttons undone though. She needs some help. Someone needs to go help her button up her pants. Oh, I'm sorry.
Master
She's
of the
being
universe.
suggestive. Dumbass.
Wait, are they
Right.
allowed to do that?
Whatever. They do whatever they want. She's the right color. She has the right politics. It's okay, even though she's got a gut. What do they call that? A gunt?
Oh,
All right,
come
you
on.
go ahead.
No.
Yeah, I'm off of
He-Man.
it. I'm off of it. I'm back onto this image of Grayskull here. It's pretty cool. There's a sword in there. And I don't understand why I need Tila. I don't need Tila. Tila is always a stupid character. I want He-Man.
Whoa. Step off, Chester. So Tila originally was a sorceress who did know some of the powers of Grayskull. And when I say this, I'm going back to the original comic books, the little 4-inch jobbers that you would get within the action figures. He spoke to her, and she was dressed even in a cobra, kind of an armor looking cowl,
Mhm.
because cobras and snakes, we know, are an animal that has been revered for wisdom.
Right.
And so she was wise about the knowledge of Castle Grayskull. And of course, this is, of course, the original He-Man, who there was no young prince or anything else. He was just more like Conan, and he was the protector still of Grayskull. Everybody wanted to understand and get into that power because it was mysterious. And Tila originally knew some of that information, and she helped He-Man defend it from Skeletor. So I think she definitely has a part in here. And if they're going to go back to the original concept of the characters from those little comics, I would love to see that.
Mhm. Well,
I just geeked out on you.
I don't really know anything about He-Man, dude. I was of the age where I was getting into girls when He-Man came out. So yeah, I don't know much about He-Man, dude. I'm just a little bit older. just old enough to. I kind of missed He-Man. Thundar the
I
Barbarian,
was
I could
just at
talk
the
to you about.
age. I was just at the age where I was getting into the action figures, and one of those that was really
Yeah.
cool to play with was Tila.
Okay. Oh God. Okay. But yeah, I did kind of just miss He-Man. I saw a few of the episodes, of course, but yeah, it's not really my age group. But a lot of people loved it though. It was a mega hit, man. And once again, I don't understand what this girl is. This Tila? Maybe she's Tila.
No,
Yeah, she could
no,
be. She needs to button up her pants though. It's a problem.
no,
And I think she's Tila.
no.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah.
Tila.
Did you see the ad? It actually said something about playing Cinderella for Disney.
Is she?
Yeah.
It's awesome. They cook their books though.
Yeah, baby. That's what it is. You keep it up. You keep at it. Everyone's gonna love this Gunt lady here. Yeah, good for you. Yeah. Okay, if your breasts were a little bit bigger, we wouldn't see the gun as much, but it's all right. It's all right. Anyway, Kevin Smith though. Kevin Smith is going to do He-Men, and Tila is going to be the main character. It makes perfect sense to me, really. It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
She
Yeah.
shouldn't be a main character. She should be a main character, not the
Oh
main
no, she's
character.
going to be
Hence
the
the
main one
title,
because she's going to introduce to
He-Man.
us to the variety of masculinity that exists throughout the multiverse, and we're going to get to meet all kind of she-men and He-Ras and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be wonderful. She will be our guide as we follow her, and as she chastises them for their horrible masculinity and praises the other one for their whateverness. It's going to be awesome. I know. I can see it, dude. It's going to be awesome. Kevin Smith's going to be crying the entire time. It's going to be wonderful.
That is true. He doesn't have a good track record currently on
No.
standing up for values.
No, he's horrible. But Jalapeno Milk says the Pirates of Darkwater. Now that was definitely not in my group, but I saw it and I kept watching it though. It's unfortunate they got canceled. That was a pretty good show. You guys see the Pirates of Darkwater?
Yeah.
That was a good show, dude. I like that one. He says also, can they do this for the so he's doing it again. Of Blackwater or Darkwater. He's correcting himself. Comic Book Bob says, I think I'd rather slam my junk into a sliding glass door than watch this show. Oh no. Oh God. I love anime, Willie Mammoth says. Cult Fin Video says, hate Star Wars, but he should play Joker in Matt Reeves' Batman trilogy. There you go. Although the boy who died did a really good job in his role, though. What was that boy's name?
You
Heath
mean
Ledger.
Heath
Heath
Ledger?
Ledger. Yeah, he did a really
Yeah.
good job. I thought he was excellent. It really wasn't the Joker per se, but what he did was wonderful.
You know, Art has a really good point here in that it's an anime He-Man series, and okay, anime has its place, but
Sure.
He-Man doesn't have. It should not be anime, in my opinion. It needs to have that Western manly look that's more normal. I disagree with the
Oh
concept
yeah,
that He-Man
no.
can be anime.
Japanese don't do manliness right. It's either the stubborn hard head that will not take no for an answer, or it's extremely effeminate. And we're seeing more and more of that these days. And actually, my children came back for the holidays. We had Obone here, and they actually corrected me on something, and I should make that correction here. We were talking about the studio, the anime studio that burned down, and a lot of people died. It was it was a terrorist act, and it was KyoAni, Kyoto Animation Studios, and I had said that that was mainly for girls. Right, all the anime they do, because I've seen, all the little thing, the anime. I don't watch them, but I've seen all the posters and stuff. I know who they are, and it's all extremely feminine. So I was like, oh, it's girl stuff. But my kids corrected me like, no, that's for boys. I'm like, huh, no way. And they said, yes. I said, what? How? And they said, well, there's a group of people in Japan who stay in their houses and never leave. They're a certain special type of otaku, I guess. And I was like, huh? And they were like, God, you don't know anything about Japan, Dad. And I was like, okay, fine. But basically, they were telling me that this extremely effeminate, ultra effeminate stuff, which I know Korea's having a big trouble with it. It's a certain type of otaku here that watches that. So I stand corrected.
Yeah, Nausicaa of the Valley of Wind.
That was a great
That's one of the few
Miyazaki dude.
that Yes, one of the few things that have come out like that in which the men are men.
Mm.
I mean, he just puts up his arm and just takes a blade right and just stands there with it.
Uh-huh.
That guy's awesome.
Yeah, oh,
Patrick
yeah,
Stewart, which
Yeah.
is yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
yeah.
Then the Willie Mammoth
Chester, if you
says,
ever want to,
yeah, go ahead.
oh, go ahead. I was gonna say, if you ever want to go down a rabbit hole, check out the hikikomori. That's what they're referring to,
Oh, my children.
and it's basically, yeah, they're referring the people are hikikomori. They're basically adults. Most of them are people that have social anxiety and stuff that have lived at home for years and years and never come out. They don't even come out of their room except to even go to the bathroom potentially.
Well,
That's a massive culture.
hikiki means like a small cave, and mori means forest. So like a small forest cave. I guess it makes sense staying in
Yep.
your room.
Yeah.
Huh.
The other terminology they use is NEET, NEET, not in education, employment, and I forgot what the T stands for.
Interesting. But Willie Manley says Chester watches girl anime. I do not. God. Anyway, next, John Wick. Uh-oh, what's this?
So John Wick director is going to oversee the new action scenes for Prey. Apparently, they're having trouble filming action scenes for this superhero-led movie, and they had to get one of the director from John Wick to redo reshoots.
Well,
He's
that's
overseen a lot of.
Well, that's a good thing.
lot of-
That's a really
Yeah.
good thing. Yeah, that's great, dude. And that's a handsome fella. That's not a bad looking fella. Of course, he's not as pretty as our own Pixel here. That's a pretty man. But yeah, no, that's good for them. But the problem is, I've seen a lot of shows that, like Into the Badlands is a good example. That started out with some really good Asian martial artists brought on, great action, killer action, and then they kind of got woke and they started bringing on more and more female leads. And of course, the female leads need to be able to kick the Asian martial artists' butt, right? But the problem is they had to slow everything down so much so that they could kick butt that the show became crap and it got canceled, right? This is a problem I think he's going to run into, but I think it can only help because John Wick is awesome. Although Haley Berry did a good job.
Yeah, but she was using,
Guns.
not going full on, yeah,
That's
and all
true.
that other stuff.
But still, you can do it. There's a way to do it. I think it's a good thing. Anybody have a comment on this? This is probably great news.
Yeah, I'd like to see more concepts like this. Just actually take what works, take what's good, and use it. Yeah. The merit, right? The merit of actual quality stuff. Yeah.
Heresy.
Joshua says, still not watching Birds of Gay, huh? Okay, well, you're probably right, I guess. But, oh well, I wish they'd just make a movie and not worry about who everyone's having sex with. But I guess you can't do that these days. What's this girl's name? This chick here is like, what's her name? Something Robbie maybe, or Roby or something like that.
Margaret Robbie.
Oh, Margot Robbie. That's her name. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You guys like her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought she was okay in Suicide Squad. I mean, she was just TNA, but I just think she was fine. I saw the Tarzan thing. She looked sickly. She needed to eat a hamburger. And then I saw her in that Tanya Harding thing. That was pretty good, though. I think she did a good job in that.
I thought she did a good job in that for sure.
Yeah, that was pretty good. So she's got a little bit of chops. So we'll see what she does. But I think she's just going to be TNA again. I mean, that's kind of what they've kind of wedged her into that position. But oh well. But this is good news, definitely. Next,
I think she pulls off. Some acting ability.
Yeah, I think she does. Yeah,
and it's going to continue to grow. Or I hope that's
a good point. I think the real problem for her is she is young, but her age is kicking her in the head hard. Unfortunately, she's aging super quickly. Some ladies do, and this is one of the things in Hollywood I don't hear them talk about too much, but they have a fair right to talk about because men can get older and they can still get plenty of roles, but as a woman gets older, it becomes harder and harder for her to find a role, and that in a way is it's not right, right? We know what sells, sex sells, but that's an unfair thing. You would think they would concentrate on more, but they don't. Because I have a feeling it's going to hurt her, dude. But
I call no, I call that whole thing Bravo Sierra, because they write
okay,
characters that are old, they write characters that are overweight, they write
they
characters
do.
all in all kinds of different ways to put in movies, shows, TVs, and whatever. There's a place for every character because there's a place in it for them in every story. And to make a blanket statement, and I keep hearing that's wrong.
I don't know. I think there is some truth to it actually, but it's okay. But I like Margot. I think she's. I don't have anything against her. I think I've enjoyed her and what I've seen her do. So I hope she has luck, and hopefully them coming in and helping with the action will be a good thing. I think it's good news.
A learning experience for her. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
agreed.
So, Denali, what in the hell is this?
So this is a statue that I don't know who whose idea it was, but they put it up there over New Zealand's city.
So that's why
So
Booster's not here. I get it. Okay.
yeah, he didn't want to talk about this statue.
He's involved.
He
What
probably
do you mean?
is. Yeah, but who is it supposed to be? What is it for?
The Adams family.
Thing? Thing is getting his
Thing?
rightful place finally? Oof.
Finally.
Okay, well, I get it. So the artist Ronnie van Hoot is known for his thought-provoking and disturbing work. Well, I see where it's coming from. I get it.
Reminds
Right.
me a little bit of Vampire Hunter D, except the face should be on the palm instead.
Oh, right. Yeah. But who is the face supposed to be? What's the point here? Did they tell us?
I mean, I think it's supposed to be some kind of statement about Christchurch or something.
Terrorism?
I guess.
Okay.
They don't even they're like too disturbed by the image of the statue. They don't even know what it's about.
Well, the face kind of looks like Trump.
I
It does, dude.
I guess if you look at it sideways.
Yeah, it was created in 2016 though, so I don't know if.
No,
Yeah.
it's just.
Yeah, it
Wow.
even says
I
that
am
here.
speechless.
They said it looks like a Donald Trump analogs the thing. It is bizarre. I don't get it, but I don't think this is bizarre as the creator. I mean, the creator is wow, dude.
We don't need to disparage anyone, Chester.
I'm not
That's like a
disparaging anyone.
mask.
I'm just saying it's interesting, interesting human for sure. Is it a mask? I bet you it is a mask. Oh, it
One
is
would
a
hope it's a
mask.
mess.
It's a good mask. Holy crap, that's a good job. And it is Donald Trump, dude.
Mm.
And even though it's old, it's because he was running for president, it was probably some kind of the thing he just couldn't get completely done and in place in time, probably. or he or she, I don't know, Ronnie, I'm not sure. That's bizarre. Can I move on? I'm going to blame
Yes.
Booster for that. That's Booster's fault. Next.
Yep. So CNBC is already shilling hard for Disney Plus. Basically, they're advertising Disney Plus that's going to be launching on all major streaming platforms except for their main competitor, Amazon.
Makes
And,
sense.
Yep.
No,
Basically,
it doesn't.
Why?
Go ahead.
Disney, I thought was making their own streaming service, and of course all of their amazing content, everything was going to be on the Disney streaming service. And is this bait and switch? Is this oh, we realize we can't do this, or we would be better off if we got into other people's venues and just had a channel?
No, I think you're misunderstanding what they're doing.
Yeah.
Maybe I
Go
am.
ahead. I
it's
get what they're
just a
doing. Go ahead.
place. Yeah, it's just a place where you can, like,
Access
a
it.
place where you'd find their app. Yeah.
Mhm.
Roku is a service like any other cable service, but it's just cheaper, and they're going to put the Disney app on there so that you can, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not like what you're thinking.
Yeah, and I'm not
So it
really
is a
sure why
service.
Amazon would have to. They're simply talking about Amazon's Fire TV is what they're talking about. But okay, it's I get it. Go ahead, DeWolf.
So it is a service. It's not going to be seen on Netflix and
Mm-mm.
those things.
No, no,
Right,
no,
right,
no.
okay.
It is a
It'll be
service.
its
Yeah,
own Netflix. Those will be places where you can actually get
It'll be
it.
available
right.
on all devices.
That's right. Yeah, just like my
Yes.
Apple, I can watch Netflix, and my Android or what have you, you can. Yeah, that's what they're doing here. And it's
Okay, the way that
because
was written,
Amazon
you
has
just
its
didn't
Fire
see that.
TV, and don't they have a little tablet they put on? Isn't that Kindle thing from Amazon?
Yeah, Fire
Yeah,
Kindle.
Yeah, whatever that
Kindle
is. Yeah.
Fire. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
they're simply not going to get into bed with Amazon, which makes perfect sense to me, a sense because in the long run, Amazon is going to be their big competitor. It's interesting to me how much the Amazon is dragging their feet. Actually, you would think they would be storming head forward, but they're not. They're just putting a little bit out. I think they're. I'm kind of curious what their strategy is actually.
I think they're trying to get all the contents ready to drop when they actually make their bigger announcements.
Oh,
I
Disney.
mean,
I was
they've
talking about Amazon, but yeah, that's certainly true. I think. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, this
Uh,
is pretty normal
but
thing.
right, and they do talk about the prices. Like you have a choice introductory price of $69.99 for the full year,
Mhm.
or $6.99 for the first year. Or you can bundle it up for the family bundle, which gives you Hulu, uh, Disney Plus, and SPN for a low price of $12.99.
No,
Yay!
no.
But it's gonna be jacked up the moment they get enough subscribers on board.
Sure. Uh, we'll see how it goes. More than likely, my family will probably get it, and I'll have to pay for it as usual. I'm already paying for Amazon and Netflix, so whatever. Anyway, last bit today. I definitely got to move on because I'm starting to push my time here. But
Mhm.
Denali, let's do our last story.
All right. So the last story: DC fans are not happy with the new Tim Drake costume, and I've been starting to see memes popping up on my Facebook feed of UPS
Yeah, no,
Tim Drake.
Pope Fire was quite upset with the whole thing, and they're not showing the
What?
pic here. Oh, come on, you got to show the pic. This CBS sucks so bad, dude. They can't even get the
Right.
videos to play on the damn site. I know I complain about CBS every damn time, but I just still can't believe that CBS can't run a damn website, dude. I could do a better job. That is not a good thing, dude. That is not a good thing. They got to hire you, Pixel, and get it done. But they're not showing it here. Let me go find a picture of it.
Do it.
Yeah, because
Do it
that's
now. Find the costume.
Be a looter. Go find the costume.
I'm doing it.
So now this has happened a lot
Here
of
it
times
is.
before, right? We see the costume of characters change, they ebb and they flow. Sometimes they try one out and they go back to the original, or they come up with something new. So this, wow.
It does look like UPS colors, I have to say. I don't
Yeah.
know if I hate it that much though, but I do remember when Jim Lee redesigned all the costumes for the DC heroes, and there was a lot of flack about that too. But I didn't mind them. Um, I don't know, Todd, you're the artist. We're one of the artists here. What do you think about this design, dude?
Very complex. It's similar to those Jim Lee designs that you're talking about
Yeah.
for the new 52, where the artists absolutely hated them because it was more like armor and a lot of cut lines and stuff in the trim work and stuff like
Mhm.
that, and it was just hard to get right all the time, from other angles. But this costume, yeah, this is a little bit like that, where it's like, why all this stuff? What does all this stuff mean? Is he juiced up with some kind of orange, like gold goo? I don't even get it. Why all this trim work?
Hmm.
So it's a really a takeaway from the sort of sleek design that he normally has. Now the artist it's gonna be trickier from all different angles. That's the thing I have with it. I mean, it's like when you gear something up. I have a problem with certain types of gear from when the character's leaning forward. If they have like sort of those cross bands across their chest, it gets hard to do those pouches and things straight on. You know, they just don't look right.
That's
So the
interesting.
more you do something like that, yeah, the more you do something like that, the more you create tangents that become focal points. You're like, oh my god, that doesn't look right, and then now you're looking at that instead of
So
what you
you
should be looking at.
you just prefer nudes then?
Yeah, that's better.
No, but just the design that's a little less clunky and so I don't know. I mean, some people are really good at that kind of thing, you know. But you notice if you find some characters, right, that have armor and all this gear on, go see how many times the actual creator of that art that work draws that character from positions like above and from different views and like coming at you. Go see, because Ben Jones had a very complex characters that were really armored up,
Yeah,
and
he
a
did.
lot of his stuff was forward facing.
Well, look
A
at the
lot of
most complex armored up character that I can just come to mind at the moment that is very prevalent, and that, of course, is Iron Man. He had a lot of those sections of his body, though, that were still drawn that looked like spandex. And, of course, they made a technological reason for it. But I see Todd's point here that Iron Man had a few large pieces that stood out, and then and a few armored areas such as a shoulder or forearms, and then the rest of it was pretty sleek lines and back to the muscle suit.
Well, I
obviously
think
good artists can do it, right? It's not a thing of good artists. It's when you get mediocre artists, and then they try to draw the Superman symbol from a stretched angle, and you go, that doesn't look right. There's a lot of reference though as far as Superman goes, but it's these other costumes, and especially with gauntlets and things like that, and shoulder pads. You try to make that look right from every single angle. You're talking about
it's kind of interesting here in the
tricky stuff.
chat, and I want to ask Pixel as well. But Josh says that it's trash. Bullet says brown is not a spandex superhero color. Period. Then SJW Joshua says racist. Okay. And Bullet says for costumes, yes. Now hold on a second. Didn't Wolverine wear brown at one point? DeWolfman says, and I agree 100%, and it looked really cool. But Pixel, what's the deal? Because your age group and younger is kind of going off on this Tim Drake costume. What's the deal, man? Give us an insight.
How old do you think I am?
That was a joke, dude. You should be flattered.
Yeah, I'll be flattered. I'm actually, as I was listening to Todd, I was sitting here staring at this knee. His right knee was drawn incorrectly compared to his left knee because there's no outer line on that yellow. It's driving me nuts. I've been focusing on it for the last 5 minutes. This is exactly it though. They make something overly complex and they can't make it consistent across pages. I'm sure it'll be different on every single panel.
Yeah, but why are people hating it though? Is my question, dude.
I don't know about if it's the color scheme, by the way, because Sovereign. If you go back to Sovereign 7, I don't know if you guys remember Sovereign 7.
Sure.
It's when Chris Claremont went over to DC and created something with a guy named Dwayne Turner, and all of those colors were earth tones. If you go back, you look, it's all earth tones, and there was something clever about it. But I don't know why. I mean, obviously Sovereign 7 didn't last, but I don't know if it was the color scheme.
I don't think it's necessarily a problem with the colors specifically. I think it's more the design. Well, it is the colors too, because the character has always been associated with certain colors, and to see him leave that color set, I think it's like changing the character. It's like no longer Tim Drake as a character, I guess.
Right? Yeah.
Well, because I know
it's like taking Superman. Remember when Superman came back?
I think it's the break. It's the breakup of the costume. It's the breakup of the costume as well, because the way it's broken up, it doesn't look that well.
That's awesome.
Pope fire, yeah.
But where Pixel was going though has a good point. Yeah. If you put green all over Superman, he wouldn't be Superman.
That's true.
He wouldn't
That's a
be
fair
Superman.
point.
But
Yeah.
when he came back and he had his black suit after the whole death of Superman, and he came back to life and he was wearing the black suit with the everything, people were like, "Okay, cool, that's Superman, but that's not Superman." Like they were
Right.
waiting for him to come back and ditch the mullet and go back to his original kind of full on red, white, and blue, kind of red and blue layout, or red, gold, and blue, whatever it was. Yeah, like that's just not Tim Drake anymore. Sure, he's got red pouches, but I want to see the red. I want to see the black. Or whatever the case may be with that. Yeah.
Actually, the red pouches bug my eye more than the uniform itself. But whatever.
Yeah, right.
It's a
clashes. Yeah.
it's a controversy.
The
though. I
arms,
think
the
it's
arm,
interesting.
the bicep. Look at that stupid
It's
bicep.
bizarre.
Look,
Yeah,
the forearm design work. It really is a weird, odd angles and pieces of
is.
things that doesn't even look like it should move.
Or should be there or
Yeah.
be useful. And the thing with Jim Lee's, because obviously it's comparison with Jim Lee's redesigns, I didn't mind him as much as a lot of people, other people did. But the one that I did think was really weird was putting Superman in armor. It's like, yeah, the armor's going to just get torn away. I mean, why are you putting armor on Superman? Doesn't make any sense. Let's see
Yeah.
here. Dan Didio, quote, I still hate Marv Wolfman. How can we crap on Tim Drake more? BMB, put him on the the doo-doo team and give him a beige or gray uniform. Didio, perfect. Okay. And see, I didn't swear again, Nick. I didn't do it. All right. Anyway,
Thank you.
it's enough of this. Let me come over here because I'm really pushing my time. Oof, goodness gracious. I literally got 4 minutes. Okay. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining us. We did go a little bit over, but we're having fun. They're great conversations today. We always love you guys coming over. Do keep in mind that tomorrow on Bugbear's Basement, we're going to be doing a more layout and setup for our D&D game. And that's going to be a lot of fun. We're doing Forgotten Realms, and we're doing a straight up D&D. So definitely come over and join us for that. George, of course, is sitting here showing us the art of Frank Cho's penned ladies. But we do need to jump off of here, George. I really got to go. I'm down to 3 minutes, George. Okay, guys.
Do this seconds. Look at this book. Everybody should get this book. Let me just do a quick flip.
Okay, George. I don't want a copyright strike. Okay, George. See, now I'm going to get a strike, and it's George's fault. Understand it. Blame him. All right, guys. I definitely got to go. So thanks everybody for being here, and Dinale, take us out of here, sir.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for Comics News today. Join us tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern for Bugbear Basement, where we'll be doing our Dungeons & Dragons information, characters, and layouts, and everything that Chester said. And then we have a lot of more stuff coming up in the pipelines. Check out Insider Magazine with Pixel Trader and Dr. Wright. Check out IndieCom TV with Tom and Rudy and his crew. All over the places, and we will see you tomorrow. Like always, your perception shapes your reality, so always make it a good one.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Gesundheit.
Later, guys.
Aloha.